Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and in this video we're going to show you how to bring in a Zoom participant into your congregation and into your service in the building and integrate them into your live stream. So let's go. Hey folks, AJ the CEO here. If this is your first time stopping by the channel, thanks for stopping by. And on this channel, we focus on tips, training, strategies, reviews, and builds to help modernize your media ministry. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you like what we're doing here, consider becoming a patron or a YouTube member by clicking one of the links down below. So let's make this really simple, folks. I've had a bunch of people ask me this, and you can make this as complicated as you want, but I want to try and make this as simple as possible. So let's go ahead and cut over to the computer and let's go to Draw.io so I can draw this whole thing out. All right, we're here in Draw.io. Let's make a new one called Zoom. Now, I'm going to be using the ATEM, but the concept is still going to be the same. Let's start with our base. Here we have our ATEM, and we're going to have our mixer for our house sound. We're going to have our cameras, our PTZs, whatever you choose to be that you have. And I'm going to just do ours. We have 3. And then we're going to include our presentation system. And I just might as well just use a computer. Doesn't really matter. All right, this is our typical setup. Let's connect all of this here. And then we're bringing in our audio into here. Now, another thing that's important here, our computer that's running our presentation stuff or playing anything, that audio is routed into our mixer so that if we play any audio, it's going to be heard in the house, but it filters through the mixer back into our switcher. That is very, 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 very important. So I'll just say this is presentation PC. Now you can do this with whatever you got, or you can add another system. It all depends on how many inputs that you have. So how does Zoom work? You got your person over here. You got a microphone. Why is that mic so small? Let's do a bigger one. They got their microphone, and then they have their camera, right? And that goes through whatever software, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, WebEx, don't really matter. They all pretty much are exactly the same. And then that gets broadcast through whatever piece of software, and then that goes out and boom, boom, boom. And then the people on the other end have the exact same thing. So we're trying to first, let's deal with what the person on Zoom is going to get. You want them to be able to see everything that's going on in the sanctuary. All right. So if you have an ATEM Mini, something that has a USB out, that's really simple. So what we would want to do is have the same system. I personally would think you should have a separate system that's running. And like I said, I'm going to do Zoom, and I'm going to say this is Zoom, right? And this is going to be connected via USB so that now Zoom is going to see the camera and the audio coming in from the ATEM. And that's what's going to serve over to Zoom. And that's how people are going to see vice versa. Real simple, right? Let's move this stuff out of the way. So this is going to represent, and I'll just say this is Zoom. So this is what's going to bring in our video and our audio. So that is whatever is being picked on the ATEM, that is what the participant on Zoom is going to see. That's going to get them straight. Now, how do we get this straight? We are going to have this computer or whatever that's connected to Zoom, have that connected as a source back into our switcher. And in Zoom, we talked about this in the video that I'll tag here, where we're going to use this as a multi-view. And I think all these other programs have the exact same thing. If you don't, you just got to maximize, make it full screen of whoever. And like for Zoom, we would put it in, we would pin the person, the Zoomer. Maybe I can call it that, Zoomer. We're going to pin that person. So they're going to take up full screen, make them full screen in our client. And then that's going to just show up like it's another input here in the ATEM. So we also got to make sure that our audio is coming in to our mixer. That way, when they talk, it's going to come through our mixer just like everywhere in the house, and they can hear it. But the audio is going to come back. Zoom and the client will handle so that there's no loop back in audio, so they won't just hear themselves talking, because it's just going to show just like any other Zoom. You're not going to hear them double over on themselves. But if anybody was talking inside the sanctuary, it would come back and they would be able to hear that. All right. Another way, if you do have any looping over and stuff like that in audio, just make sure how this is coming into the mixer. You just mute them when they're not talking. Then you don't have to worry about a double loop over or anything like that. All right. That's how simple it is. All right. So let's go ahead and set this up in my setup, and just to show you exactly how that would work. All right. So here on my desktop, I have Zoom running. As you can see, this is a source that's going to be sent out to the ATEM. But more importantly, I actually have it running in multi-screen output. So this is the control console of what I just showed you. But on my other screen that's going into the ATEM, it's going to be a full screen view of this program. And that's if I can find which screen it is. There it goes. So I'm going to double click that and make this full screen the entire time. So that is just going to be another source that's coming into the ATEM. So I have my other computer set up over here. I am going to have it join in a meeting, and I have a WebEx set up. I'm not a WebEx, but I got a webcam set up here. So let's go ahead and join in over here. All right, so right now, as you can see, I have AJ2 coming in right now. I need to join my audio over here. And boom, you see my message stuff over here. Let me move this camera down here. Yeah, how about we do this? That way it looks a lot better. So this will be your Zoom participant. Now, my audio is being routed into my system here. Or am I? No, I didn't. Let me connect that real quick. All right, so my audio is now connected in here. So if I'm a mute me, that's coming in when I'm blocking it, you can't see. I'm going to mute me coming in here. And so my audio is coming into my Rodecaster, the mixer. Let me unmute myself over here. Let's just verify that we can actually hear something.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
All right, so that audio is coming in. All right, so I have everything set up here. I have the audio from the Zoom client. Well, actually, it doesn't really matter with the Zoom client. My system that you're seeing right now is connected to my sound system, so you'll be able to hear my audio that's coming from this system. So in that diagram, if we bring that up real quick again, in this diagram, I have my client's audio is coming into my mixer. So when the Zoom participant starts talking, we'll be able to hear them, which is routed to the ATEM, which is going to the live stream, but then we'll be able to go everywhere else. So now that I'm actually doing that, let's actually start a live stream so we can show how this will work. But before I do that, let's go ahead and here in Zoom, we're going to pin this person, and what monitor is which? All right, so I pinned them to my monitor. So now if I pick my input, as you can see, they are full screen, and this is coming from Zoom. All right, so it's just like another camera that's coming through here. All right, so being able to pick them just like you would pick your front PTZ, back PTZ, camera 1, 2, 3, 4, your Pro Presenter or presenter system. We just brought them in just like their input by having Zoom or your other client just output this as full screen, and we have it pinned to them. So you're not going to be seeing the screen that you're seeing right now. Everybody else is going to see this when you pick that person. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mute myself here, and then I'm going to bring up their audio so that it comes through. All right. So let me mute me. So right now, this audio is coming through Zoom. So this is how now everything is filtering through, and you can hear what's going on. And it's a little annoying to me because I'm hearing an echo from what's coming in from coming through the headphones. But this is how now we're capturing the audio. Anybody in the sanctuary will be able to hear exactly what's going on. All right. So let's come back over to the computer, and then let's actually live stream it, and let's see what this looks like. All right. Let me mute that so that it's not looping back over. And let's go ahead and bring up our ATEM, and we're going to just actually point this to, to Vimeo. And we're going to just let the whole thing go and just see how it all works. And again, in theory, based on how this works, all we're doing is setting up Zoom on another computer like it's another input. That's really all it is. So let me get my streaming key here from Vimeo, and it's going to be real bad here for a second because it's going to loop on to infinity. Let's actually come out of this. I wish I could lock it too. I need another camera so you can actually see what's going on, but I'm going to live stream this right now, and I'll post a link to it so you can see how it works just to hear how the whole thing goes. So this is me talking right now. I am going to unmute my Zoom participant and let them talk to the congregation. Good morning, everybody. So again, this would simulate if I was being brought in, I can talk and interact with whoever there is. Now, as a Zoom person, what I'm going to be seeing is nothing but myself because of this. And actually, let me turn my camera on so that that's what I can see on the Zoom part. So here, I'm going to be seeing myself. So if I showed you what's actually on the PC of what I'm seeing, see, I'm just seeing itself going into infinity. But that is what I would be seeing here. So I would be able to see me. That's what's going on in Zoom because I'm being featured right now. But if we cut over to one of the cameras, for me, I would see whatever else is going on in the sanctuary. So hopefully that works. Again, I am pulling all my audio right now from the camera, and that is what you're hearing. My audio is being routed from my presentation system or the system that's running the client. And then that is hooked up into our mixer, as well as the full screen version of what you're seeing is going into my switcher or your software switcher. You could do this if you were just doing OBS, vMix, any one. It's just capturing the whole screen. You can do that over NDI. You can do a direct connection. It's a bunch of ways you can do that, screen capture. But that's how that works. Now let me mute that so we don't have it loop back over. But that's pretty much it, folks. All we're going to do is just have another client running on our another system, have that output go into our switcher, have the audio from that system routed into our mixer so everyone in the house can hear it, and then especially with the, now I'm thinking about it. Let me finish that statement and then go back to the other part. And then the USB out is going into that same system that is running the client on the church's side, the sanctuary side. That way it's routed back to what they can see on your client. Now, how would you do this if this was OBS? You would do the exact same thing in OBS. So inside of OBS, what we would do is we would leverage the start the virtual camera. That is what's going to be sent over to Zoom so that they can see what's going on. And then we're going to bring in our same VB audio cable that will give us an audio output that will go to Zoom the same way. The exact same thing would work. But let me know if you want me to do a detailed one on just doing this solely through OBS. I will be glad to help you out with that. So if you like this type of content, appreciate a like, consider subscribing, hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ, and we'll catch you on the next video. Later.